Let's have a look at the first card. Wig. Well, a lot of people wear accessories, fashion accessories, hats, and of course glasses. Sue Pollard, Christopher Biggins, their novelty glasses are more a sad cry for help. Whereas my wig is, it's like having a hallmark of quality, cattle branded to my scalp. And it's very well known that I go to only the finest wig fitter in the land, Maurice Montague of Old Street. We weave with care the hair that you wear, is his motto. And I deplore the new High Street brand of wig fitters like the One Stop Syrup Station and Barnet Express. If you're going to wear a wig, get it bespoke. And that also goes for the clothing. I have a wig for every occasion as well. Minder. I need one, quite frankly. Because as a resident on the uppermost rung of the light entertainment ladder, life is fraught with pitfalls, and I'm often stalked by all manner of lady person. And I need a minder to fend off the lascivious advances of those lady people, and also just to generally go and do things for me. And I have the best minder in the business, Mr. Charlie Vadge, that's V-A-D-G-E, who also drives my Rolls-Royce Silver Corniche convertible. And he wakes me up every morning dressed as a beef eater, playing Greensleeves on the Polynesian harp. It's fantastic. And he's there, and he also feeds me and drives me everywhere, and I love him dearly. I love him dearly. Charlie Batch. Sammy Davis Jr. Man was the greatest. You talk about entertainers, you talk about Sammy, you show him respect. I'm influenced greatly by Sammy Davis Jr. In fact, recently I've been called by none other than Leo Sayer. Oh yeah, Leo Sayer. The white Sammy Davis Jr. of the East End of London. You don't take that kind of compliment lightly, let me tell you. Sammy did everything exceptionally well. I do as well. And in fact, as a mark of respect for Sammy, and I always wear this chain. It's gold $1. And in 1971, I was backstage watching him at Carnegie Hall in New York. Sammy finished a fantastic set. He walked off stage, saw me standing there, and he took this off, looked me in the eye, and he said, "I don't want this. Do you want it?" And so I've always worn it wherever I've gone, as a mark of respect for the greatest entertainer that's ever lived. Pants. Pants. I don't wear them. Just don't wear them. I wear cling film, extra strength, of course. And it also goes for my trousers, because when you're blessed with the kind of manhood that Lenny Beige is blessed with, you need your pants, your trousers, specially reinforced. And my tailor imports twine used by Icelandic trawlermen in order to keep my my manhood well within the region it's meant to be kept within. I used to break in underpants for Nureyev. That's a little known fact. We all have a signature tune, and those are the words on this card. With Shirley Bassey, Goldfinger, Diamonds Are Forever. With old Blue Lips himself, it was New York, New York. With Lamar, it was Too Shy, Hush Hush, Idlewine. And with me, it's A Spinning Wheel, which is a phenomenal song. I've kind of taken it, I've nursed it, I've brought it up, I made it my own. And anytime I perform, I always sing The Spinning Wheel.
What goes up
must come down. A spinning wheel, it's got to go round. Talking about your troubles, but you won't ever learn. Ride a painted pony, let your spinning wheel turn. High kicks. I won't do one now because I'm in reclining slacks. My polyester reclining slacks. But basically, my highlight kicks are well-renowned. And I take umbrage with those who revere Sporty Spice for kicking high. And basically, my high leg kick is a true high leg kick, whereas Sporty Spice is merely a dog cocking its leg. Thank you. Little Robbie Williams. I'm influenced, as I said, by Sammy Davis Jr. Many people are very influenced by me, and I was in Cumanu, which is in Wales. I can't spell it, it's more of a throat disease than a language. Many, many years ago, in a production of Oliver, I was playing Fagin, and little Robert Williams was playing the Artful Dodger. I realized then that he had the talent to make it, and he joined a boy band that was slightly dubious, and I've nursed him through that, and now he's a huge international star, and he owes it all to me. It's the cross that I bear. A mother, as a Jewish man, the mother figure is, of course, very important in my life. And the lottery of birth is a lot like crazy golf. An awful lot depends on which hole you emerge from. And I was very fortunate enough to be born betwixt the marbled thighs of Sadie Beige, the kosher chicken giblet queen of Whitechapel. And she's an extraordinary woman, barely alive, kept alive by an array of life-supporting machinery. And when I go and visit her at the Bide a Wee While Rest Home and Funeral Cooperative in Temple Fortune in northwest London, you walk into a room, there's so many little screens and blips and noises, it's like watching Jean-Michel Jarre in concert. It's frightening. And every Friday they pump her full of Viagra, and they all have her knees up, and believe me, that's one of the most frightening sights I've ever seen. And she's not long left for this world, dear old Sadie Beige, a woman so old. Well, when I took her to see Jurassic Park, she started weeping. It brought back so many memories. She was a waitress at the Last Supper. She's that old. Jewelry. There it is, huh? It's fantastic. I have a man who makes all my jewelry now. His name is Mr. Tat of Berwick Street here in London's Soho. I have jewelry for every occasion, like my wig. And in primitive cultures, jewelry was used to ward off evil spirits. Modern day, it's often used as a symbol of love betwixt two people. But for me, jewelry is a way of showing my gaucheness and my obscene wealth to the general public and hoi polloi. And I like nothing better than a small boy to buff up my ring, I can tell you. Celebrity Squares, I hold the record. 14 appearances on the trot. And the last time I was on Celebrity Squares was underneath Bernie Winters and Schnorbitz. It was no fun at all.
Worked with.
My first favorite thing is this ring. It belonged to my father, Jaime. And it meant an awful lot to me to get this. In fact, it was on his deathbed that Jaime sold me this ring. Very beautiful. My second favorite thing is Lowestoft. It's a laughable thing for many, many people, but for me it's where I made my first public appearance at the age of 8 in the Talented Tots competition that my mother Sadie had entered me into. And I won by singing a very rousing rendition of Bat Out of Hell in a Noel Coward style. Like a bat out of hell, I'll be gone with the evening of hell. And my third favorite thing, having thought very long and hard about this, third favorite thing is me, Lenny Beige.
Worked with.
Bed. It's a small little word. I don't think that the word bed does my sleeping arrangements justice. The throne of sport and slumber, perhaps. My bed is a rotating podium-mounted piano-shaped waterbed, which I love. It has a crudité dispenser, something to hold my Monte Cristo, the size of a small child's arm. It even has a padded fax machine, so that I may receive my late-night reviews without disengaging from my late-night performances. I've often been called a modern-day Michelangelo, a Renaissance man, because my performance on my bed causes my audience of one to stare at my ceiling in wonderment. I love my bed. Dream Lover, not the song. I'm often asked this, and it's a very, very hard question to answer because I see so many attractive things in lady people, except for my wife, Beige! And for instance, my ideal woman, my dream lover, would probably have the mind of Vorderman, the body of Jill Dando, the allure of Bunny Langford, the singing talent of Elaine Page. It just goes on, you know, there's so many, so I have to visit as many different lady people as possible to try and eventually, kind of like a photo fit, they become the perfect lady person. Conquests, none of your business. Father, I mentioned Jaime, the gusset king of Bow, who lived on the cobbles of the East End of London, and it was all those early mornings and shouting, "Pets for pets!" was what eventually killed him. He died face down in a sun-blessed tray of crotchless camisole knickers. He was quite literally knickered out. Children, Nathan, Naomi. Nathan, part-time DJ, house garage speed mechanic, and full-time loathsome piece of filth. And my daughter Naomi, who is a fantastic woman, just the apple of my eye. Unfortunately, she has a lazy eye, but she could have eyes like Marty Feldman and I'd still love her. She recently failed the audition for Steps to become the 6th member because the lazy eye kept putting the others off their footwork. Home, I have many. Green Park penthouse apartment, extraordinary place, and of course my 17-bedroom Portland stone chateau-style mansion, which nestles on the East Anglian Riviera like a golden cashew in a bag of cheap monkey nuts. Suits, I've got a suit for every day of the year, and this is it. I have them specially made for me by Mr. William Hunt, who is my tailor, and I've had many tailors, Clive of Cromer, Keith of Hunstanton, Dickie Bow, of course, was my favorite, who for many, many years was the M to my Bond, the Spock to my Kirk, the Professor Yaffle to my Backbus. Tom Jones, what can you say about Tom Jones? The man's a legend. I love him dearly. The best thing to come out of Wales since the M4 motorway. Vanity. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't vain, because I'm fantastic. And I don't think it's, you know, there are certain people who think that they exude talent, and they're so damn wrong. Just look at Fred Dinage. I, on the other hand, am vain because I'm exceptional. Really. The great Bass. Obviously not Alfie. Shirley Bassey. And Shirley's a very, very important figure in my life because she gave me my big professional break in the business. 1969. So I've just had my, 68, 1968, I've just had my 30th year in show business, and Bassey was, I was a rhythm guitarist. Hard to believe, just merely a man in the background as a young teenager with the Ray McVeigh Big Band. And we were playing the Frinton Winter Gardens on November the 5th, 1968, and we were supporting Shirley Bassey, although I always said there was a woman who needed no support, a very firm woman. And the firework display that was due to go off at the end of the gig after Kiss Me Honey, Honey Kiss Me went up, and her wig caught alight. It was like an oil refinery. And she collapsed into the pit onto my lap. And before she fainted, and before she was doused with all manner of fire extinguisher, she looked into my eyes and she said, "Whoever you are, you must go on in place of me tonight." And that's how I got my big break as a professional singer and all-round entertainer. And I got the wonderful Shirley Bassey to thank for it. The last card. Is that all right? Have I overstayed my welcome? No? I'm going after this one. Okay. Hecklers, they're not a problem for me. Once again, when you're confronted with one of the best entertainers the world has ever seen, you show me respect. You better show me respect, because if you've ever been hit by this kind of hand with this kind of ringage, it really, really does hurt. I get no problem with hecklers. Stalkers I get a problem with. I gotta tell you, the one I've got at the moment is so ugly, you know, to look at her face, you'd think a hubby was standing on rakes. She's appalling. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for me. Lenny Beige, thank you very much. And God bless you all.